Hello and welcome to our latest PV News, which is the longest running online program dedicated to the PV industry. Coming up this week, Tonopah Solar secures $737 million loan guarantee. Phoenix Solar warns of 2011 losses and potential business model changes. And the latest news from Solar Panel International in Dallas. The end to the US Department of Energy's solar loan program saw them award a $737 million loan guarantee to Tonopah Solar Energy for its 110 megawatt Crescent Dunes solar energy project. Sponsored by Solar Reserve, the 100 megawatt CSP solar power tower is said to be the first of its kind in the US and the tallest molten salt tower in the world. In itself worthy of coverage, but the story has also dominated traffic figures to the PV Tech website this week. Warren Major has taken a closer look at the interest in the story.
The reason for this would seem to involve Solar Reserve's investors, which include Citigroup, US Renewables Group, Good Energies, Credit Suisse, Nazarian Enterprises and Argonaut Private Equity, the latter which had a major stake in Solyndra. PCG Asset Management, another Solar Reserve investor, has as one of its board of directors Ronald Pelosi, the brother-in-law of the US House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi. The Republicans have used the Solyndra debacle to directly attack President Obama due to his keen interest in the company and a champion of renewable energy investments in the US. PV Tech has confirmed reports that there will be a major trade action organised by the newly formed Coalition for American Solar Manufacturing against foreign PV manufacturers accused of dumping modules and solar cells in the US that has resulted in the loss of thousands of jobs. The political fallout over the Solyndra collapse has yet to run its course.
Market research firm SolarBuzz has warned that the PV manufacturing equipment spending downturn is expected to continue into 2013. Much of the spending growth this year has been fueled by an extra $6 billion being spent by Tier 2 and 3 PV manufacturers as they tried to gain market share. SolarBuzz noted that PV equipment spending would reach $13.1 billion this year, a new record. According to the report author Finlay Colville, upgrade and replacement equipment revenues in 2012 are unlikely to provide much compensation to equipment suppliers, as capacity has made up a significant portion of spending in 2011.
Typically, technology buys will get prioritised when there's significant oversupply in the industry, and the manufacturers have to differentiate what they're offering. And today, the climate is really strong oversupply, so there's significant emphasis on technology buys. And the level of the oversupply or overcapacity has really been driven by equipment that's kind of standard off-the-shelf, Me Too production equipment. So really, technology buys are the only way that a number of these new entrants in the industry can participate next year. And the Tier 2 companies that have entered have got limited brand recognition or established relationships with the downstream suppliers. So they really have to move towards technology differentiation. So technology buys will certainly be the strategic focus next year. The only question is when will this become significant revenues, and when will it start flowing through the equipment suppliers? So the first thing to note is that there's no common industry roadmap for PV, and there really aren't any strong signs that there's going to be any kind of collective alignment in the near future. So really, it's down to any technology that can drive the industry roadmap of high efficiency and lower cost. In terms of moving technology forward, we really split the companies into two different categories. On the one hand, you've got companies that have got an established market position and are financially secure, and they tend to pursue technology buys and roadmaps very much on a case-by-case basis. R&D is internal, and the process, know-how and IP is owned in-house. And the technology pool is to the equipment suppliers, even using customized tooling. Now, for the Tier 2 and other new entrants, they don't have R&D and technical expertise, so they call upon the tool suppliers to help them move technology forward. But in each case, the range of technologies is diverse, and anything that can add efficiency is a possibility, but it has to be doable from a cost-effective standpoint, and it can be easily scalable.
Write-downs and a weaker than expected recovery in demand for PV installations, specifically in Germany, are behind revised financial guidance by well-known project developer and distributor Phoenix Solar. The company warned of significant losses for the year and said it would look at its current business model in an effort to make changes and reduce costs to return to profitability next year. Phoenix Solar reported that it expected 2011 revenue in the range of 350 and 400 million euros, significantly down from 635.7 million posted in 2010. EBIT losses are expected to be in the range of 42 to 49 million euros due to inventory write-downs on solar modules caused by the continued price declines. Phoenix Solar is one of the first PV firms to write down inventory, regarded by some in the financial community as a key development to draw a line under the lack of demand elasticity and help improve a demand recovery. And now to our Solar Power International Roundup, where we start with thin film. Warren Major picks up on the noise coming from Dallas, Texas this week.
Thin film technologies are a favoured manufacturing alternative to conventional crystalline solar modules in the US. The R&D history goes way back, and of course the US is home to First Solar, which stamped thin film technology firmly on the PV industry map. Surprisingly perhaps, major announcements on the show floor have been rather thin on the ground. However, before SPI, GE announced that it would locate a 400 megawatts capacity CadTel thin film plant in Denver, Colorado, with a production ramp targeted next year and commercial module availability in 2013. GE noted that the modules would be more efficient, lighter weight and larger than conventional thin film panels. The news comes shortly after leading thin film producer First Solar is expecting to ramp its new CadTel manufacturing plant in Mesa, Arizona in the second half of next year. Both facilities could vie for being the largest in the US. Global Solar Energy, a flexible SIGS thin film producer, also pre-announced that it has partnered with several leading US building and roofing companies, expanding the availability of its PowerFlex BIPV roofing solution, which was showcased at SPI. Taiwan-based TSMC Solar, the subsidiary of the largest semiconductor foundry, also pre-announced SPI that it is prepping the ramp of its first SIGSA fab. TSMC Solar is also using SPI, as it did at the recent EU PVSec event, to build its distribution network for the key markets of Europe and North America. In regards to its US plans, TSMC Solar said that the first commercial products are expected to be shipped in the first quarter of 2012, while California Energy Commission listing is slated for mid-Q1 2012.
In a worldwide exclusive interview with PV Tech's North American senior editor Tom Cheney, TSMC Solar's president YC Chow discussed in detail the manufacturing plans for its SIGC modules, which can be viewed in the Chip Shots blog on the PV Tech website. Perhaps the most overriding trend from this year's SPI show was a swathe of announcements regarding collaborations between module manufacturers and microinverter manufacturers. The key attraction of microinverters is energy yield, especially in shaded conditions. Other attractions include safety features and lower cost installation. More simplified installs and cost savings can now be made by mounting the microinverters with the module from the factory. Market leader Enphase Energy has celebrated the shipment of its millionth microinverter in Dallas, a significant milestone for the company since it only reached the 500,000 mark in January this year. Major module manufacturer Canadian Solar is also getting in on the act, launching its Intelligrated Power Module series. Tigo Energy have declared that Trina Solar, Hanwha Solar and Up Solar are now offering smart panel technology featuring its integrated Tigo Energy Maximizer technology. Enphase hasn't cornered all of the new wave of solar modules integrated with a microinverter. PV module manufacturer SunPower launched its E18 and E19 AC solar panel series using SolarBridge's Pantheon microinverter. It's impossible to mention all of the agreements, partnerships and new microinverter products from SPI, but it's reassuring to know that 45% of microinverters are expected to be shipped in combination with a module by 2015. So there's much more to come from this segment of the PV market. And finally, significant energy price rises by all of the 6 leading UK energy suppliers, and the coalition government's response of simply shopping around for a better deal has been headline news over the last week. Despite the UK having a favourable feed-in tariff, ministers interviewed across the UK media failed to mention the only current alternative to continued energy price hikes. Those attending next week's Solar Power UK conference and exhibition will surely be wanting Energy and Climate Change Minister Greg Barker, who will be speaking at the event, to explain the government's commitment to solar. And on that note, the PV Tech Newscast will come directly from Solar Power UK in Birmingham next week, and we will be bringing you the first insights from the only event of its kind in the UK. That's it for now. We look forward to seeing you in Birmingham.